Pokémon. My Pokémons are all maxed out. Chapter 16. Name. Lotus Hat Kid Level. Level 18 Attributes. Water, Grass Features, Easy Going. HP Individual Value. 18 31st Attack Individual Value. 22 31st Defense Individual Value. 19 31st. Special Attack Individual Value. 20 31st Special Defense Individual Value. 16 31st Speed Individual Value. 25 31st. Total Individual Value. 120 Qualification Rating. A. Mastered Skills. Unknown. The qualification barely reaches the A-level threshold, which is not bad, but its characteristics are very troublesome. Easy going, double speed in rainy days, this characteristic is very troublesome. Besides, his Butterfree is in a paralyzed state, and the opponent is planning to end the battle in one go. Although Lin Luo is a little worried, he still wants to try. Even if Butterfree loses, Lin Luo still has Cocodora. If it doesn't work, he can just throw a few level candies. What is he afraid of? Zheng Hai saw that Lin Luo didn't change Pokemon, and his heart did not relax but became solemn. The opponent is going to fight to the death. Such an opponent is very difficult to defeat. Little boy with Lotus Hat, use Shadow Clones. The little boy with Lotus Hat in the rain raised his head slightly, and then infinite clones appeared in the rain. Lin Luo looked at so many clones without panic. Although there are many clones, there is only one real body. The best way to deal with shadow clones is to remain unchanged in the face of changes. Although Butterfree is paralyzed, there is still Butterfly Dance. And the paralysis state does not necessarily mean that you can't use special moves. There is still a chance to use special moves. Moreover, as long as you can find an opportunity to use Butterfly Dance, you can still win when the rainy state ends. The key is how to hold on until the rain ends. Zheng Hai looked at Lin Luo with a calm face and was more cautious, but because of limited time, he could only seize the opportunity to attack while the rain was still there. Water Wave. One of the clones suddenly used Water Wave to hit Butterfree, and Lin Luo gave the order calmly without changing his face. Use telekinesis to control the water waves. Butterfree immediately controlled the water waves, but did not use them to attack, but only controlled the water waves around itself. The light blue water ball kept spinning around Butterfree, just like a crystal ball. What do you want to do? Zheng Hai couldn't help thinking as he watched Butterfree controlling the water waves with telekinesis. Since the water waves were controlled, why not use them to attack? Lin Luo ordered Butterfree calmly, not in a hurry to use the water waves. Although he hated the stalemate at the beginning, now that things have come to this point, delaying time has become the only way. Drag until the provocation is over, drag until the rain prayer is over, drag until the characteristics of the Lotus Hat Boy can no longer work, then he has already won most of the game. Wait, is Lin Luo's only way to win? Zheng Hai has been thinking about things, did not give orders, and did not even notice that the provocation state was over. Butterfree, throw the water wave upwards, and then use Butterfly Dance. Lin Luo's order instantly awakened Zheng Hai. He forgot that Butterfree had the special move of Butterfly Dance. If the opponent succeeds in strengthening, it will be troublesome. He can't hesitate any longer and must hurry up. Lotus Hat Boy, use Frozen Punch. The speed in the rain was extremely fast. It was almost under Butterfree in an instant. When it was about to jump up and use Frozen Punch, Lin Luo suddenly laughed. Stop using Butterfree and use telekinesis on yourself. Butterfree's Butterfly Dance proficiency has improved a lot. In a blink of an eye, it stopped the Butterfly Dance and used telekinesis on itself, making itself retreat several meters. The water wave in the air just fell on the body of the Lotus Hat Boy. The Lotus Hat Boy was smashed to the ground and couldn't help but wailing. Lotus Hat Boy, don't let it escape, use Leaf Blade quickly. The Lotus Hat Boy who was hit stood up quickly, and when he was about to use Leaf Blade, Lin Luo gave another order. Keep using wind, target that water wave. After hearing this, Butterfree stopped using telekinesis, and flapped his wings to use wind. Then countless tornadoes broke up the water wave, forming a vortex of water column to trap the opponent tightly in it. It's formed, a water cage. Lin Luo looked at the cage he designed and was very satisfied, and then smiled faintly. Butterfree, use Butterfly Dance. Butterfree used butterfly dance with all her strength this time, and the speed was much faster than before. Zheng Hai, who was far away, saw this and immediately realized that he had been fooled, but how did the opponent know to use freezing punch? Zheng Hai could never understand it. The Lotus Hat Boy tried to escape from the cage, but he was hurt a lot after just trying. The flying type special move Wind Rise does great damage to the grass type Lotus Hat Kid, on top of the fact that he just received a direct attack from the water wave. It seems that this game is going to be lost. Zheng Hai has a bad feeling in his heart. At the moment when the water cage disappeared, Butterfree's butterfly dance also ended, but it was still raining. Zheng Hai originally wanted to fight again in the rain, but just when he had the idea, the rain stopped. Zheng Hai was helpless. It's really unlucky. Zheng Hai shook his head helplessly and looked at Butterfree on the opposite side. Although he was hit by Meow Meow's electromagnetic wave, it was not affected at all. I can only blame myself for being too unlucky. Meow Meow's electromagnetic wave didn't attack once. Alas. Lin Luo was about to use the silver whirlwind, but he saw the opponent raised his hand and said helplessly, "I surrender." As soon as this was said, the referee was stunned for a while, then nodded to show that he understood, and then waved his hand. Zheng Hai gave up. Lin Luo won, so this battle was won by the Nanfang City Trainer Association. As the referee announced the result, there was silence in the Far Gate Trainer Association area in the stands, and everyone could hardly believe it. On the other hand, the Nanfang City area was cheering. Lu Feng was also shouting at this moment. To be honest, when he saw the speed of the Lotus Hat Boy, he thought he was doomed to lose. But the situation was reversed in a blink of an eye. The Lotus Hat Boy was trapped in the water cage and could not escape, while Butterfree used Butterfree leisurely. All this made Lu Feng feel relieved. Butterfree after Butterfree was so powerful that even the light wall might not be able to stop it, and the rain was over. The game had already been decided. In addition, he was more certain of Lin Luo's fighting talent. This kid was at least a senior trainer. After defeating Zheng Hai, Lin Luo also got the level candy and intermediate skill rewards again. This time it was quite suspenseful. The purpose of controlling the water wave was to prevent the opponent's long-range trick, and to build a cage barrier to protect himself, but he didn't expect that the opponent's trick was actually the freezing punch. This surprised Lin Luo, but it didn't matter. The result was the same, it just turned from trapping himself to trapping the opponent. After taking back Butterfree, he shook hands with Zheng Hai and prepared to go on stage. At this time, Zheng Hai hesitated and asked again and again, "Is your second Pokémon as strong as your Butterfree?" Lin Luo compared Butterfree and Cocodora in his mind, and then nodded. In fact, in a way, Cocodora is stronger than Butterfree. After all, it has the skill to defend this plugin. General restraining skills are basically ineffective. Seeing Lin Luo nod, Zheng Hai smiled bitterly again. It seems that he is still too proud. When Zheng Hai thought that there was a Pokémon as strong as Butterfree on the other side, a bitter feeling came to his heart. After trying so hard for so long, he couldn't even force out the opponent's second Pokémon. What a miserable loss. Zheng Hai left the field disappointed. Wei Yan and Guo Fan, who were still fighting in other fields, were a little surprised to see Zheng Hai's back and hurriedly looked at the stage. That person had already stood on the stage first, looking at everyone in the audience calmly. At that moment, he looked down on the crowd. At the moment when Lin Luo stood on the stage, the whole venue seemed to fall into an eerie silence. The people in the stands stared blankly at the strange 17-year-old boy, feeling a little confused. He won. But wasn't his opponent Zheng Hai from the Faraway Trainer Association? Could it be that Zheng Hai lost? Many people thought so at the same time, so they began to look around, trying to find Zheng Hai. But Zheng Hai had quietly left the battle site just now, so how could they find him? At this time, Wei Yan and Guo Fan looked at Lin Luo on the stage with a moment of astonishment and disbelief. How could Zheng Hai's Pokémon lose? But no matter how much they didn't believe it, the fact was right in front of them. Zheng Hai had already left the stage, and Lin Luo stood on the stage, calmly looking at the people who were competing. That indifferent look made everyone who saw it fall into a brief state of absent-mindedness. Duckbill. With a slight howl from the duckbill baby in the field, Wei Yan came back to his senses and quickly looked at the duckbill baby in the field. The brief distraction just now gave the opponent an opportunity. The opponent's onion duck took the opportunity to hit an eye chop and hit the duckbill baby head on. Wei Yan hurriedly focused his attention and stopped looking at Lin Luo on the stage. Zheng Hai's matter will be discussed after the game. The most urgent task is to win this game. Flame Wheel. Guo Fan had the same idea at this time. Unlike the two people in the Magic City, the others were inspired by an inexplicable courage. And the source of courage was Lin Luo standing on the stage with an expressionless face. In the past few years, the Magic City was almost the only one, but this year it seems to have been broken. The 17-year-old boy from Nanfang City defeated Zheng Hai from afar, so can they also create the next miracle like Lin Luo? This idea has been running in my heart, so every order was given with extra passion. But they were not Lin Luo after all. Despite the fierce battle, they still lost the game. After Wei Yan from Shanggong and Guo Fan from Lunan finished the battle and successfully advanced, the other games were also decided one after another. Wei Yan looked at Lin Luo beside him and fell into a brief contemplation, and Guo Fan was also silent. As all the qualified players stood on the stage, the leaders of the association gradually calmed down. Although Zheng Hai was lost, there were still Guo Fan and Wei Yan, so there would be no problem. He encouraged himself and then said passionately, "Congratulations on your advancement to the next round. Please look at the big screen next." The electronic screen turned again. After a long time, everyone had an opponent, except Lin Luo. Congratulations to Lin Luo, a player from the Nanfang City Trainer Association, who has a bye in this battle and directly advanced to the next round. I actually got a bye. Lin Luo shook his head slightly. He still wanted to fight. After all, it was about level candy and intermediate skills. But since I have a bye, there is nothing I can do. However, I can also practice with Kokodora tomorrow. I have captured Kokodora for several days, but it seems that I have not fought against it yet. It is a good opportunity to play a few outdoor battles tomorrow to familiarize myself with it. The Pokémon in the suburbs near the Magic City are all around level 10. Although they are a little weaker than Kokodora, it doesn't matter. Lin Luo mainly wants to see how Kokodora's skills are cast to see if he can make a combination trick. Similar to the wind and butterfly dance of Butterfree. Wei Yan and Guo Fan on the side were also slightly stunned when they saw Lin Luo's bye, and then they also sighed at the other party's luck. However, they sighed, but they did not think that Lin Luo was weak, they would only be more cautious. You know, Zheng Hai, who is of the same strength as them, has just lost to the opponent. After seeing their opponents on the electronic screen, everyone left one after another. The battle tomorrow will start at 9:30, and there is still one night to make more preparations. Lin Luo returned to the hotel surrounded by the crowd, and then there was another round of celebration. As for Guo Fan and Wei Yan, they came to the Yuanman Trainer Association together. Zheng Hai lost the game and should be in the association at this time. After waiting in the association for a while, the two saw Zheng Hai walking out of the meeting room. Zheng Hai was in good condition overall, but there was a little hidden disappointment in his eyes. Originally thought that he could make it to the finals, but he didn't expect to fall in the second round. What's more uncomfortable is that he didn't even defeat the opponent's first Pokémon. How can he feel good in his heart? When he sighed secretly, he happened to see the two people sitting together, and then he was stunned and showed a bitter smile. "You are here, it seems that I can't participate in the finals." The two looked at each other, and Guo Fan comforted, "It doesn't matter, everyone has times when they make mistakes in orders, and I can win it back next time." Zheng Hai shook his head. "I don't think my order was wrong. I was convinced of the defeat, but I was a little unwilling to accept it." The two were shocked when they heard this. Convinced of the defeat. Still unwilling to accept it. It was rare to hear Zheng Hai say this. "I never said this when I fought with them in the past." Usually, the reason for losing was unwilling to accept it. But today he was convinced. Is his Pokémon powerful? Lin Luo was silent for a while and suddenly asked. Guo Fan also looked at Zheng Hai. This was what he had always wanted to ask. Zheng Hai looked at the two and remembered Lin Luo's answer. Then he smiled bitterly and said, "I couldn't even defeat the opponent's first Pokémon." Quote. As soon as these words came out, the two were shocked and fell into a brief silence. Soon after, the two left the Far Door Trainer Association at the same time. Lin Luo is very strong. Zheng Hai at the entrance of the association looked at the two people who got on the car and murmured, "Come on, see if you can force Lin Luo's second Pokémon. His strength is similar to Wei Yan and Guo Fan. If he can't win, they probably can't win either. He just wants to know what Lin Luo's second Pokémon is." Before going to bed, Lin Luo opened the reputation store again. He especially likes to look at the rare things in the reputation store before going to bed. Although he can't afford them, he is motivated by looking at them. And his reputation is not much worse, only 2 or 3,000. Huh. Lin Luo was suddenly stunned. His reputation value was only over 10,000 yesterday, but why is his reputation value so high now? 13,000 now. This is so strange. Could it be that Dai Wu, the expert on insects, has done something great again? Lin Luo thought about it and then rejected his idea. Impossible, the reputation value has not moved for several days, how could it suddenly increase by 2,000 in one day? This is unscientific. What is that? Did I defeat Zheng Hai? Just as I was confused, the system suddenly sent a message. System. Because the host defeated the junior trainer Zheng Hai, he received a hidden reward and a reputation value of 2,000. Then why didn't you remind me to get the reward at that time? System. There was a malfunction at that time. Lin Luo. Lin Luo was speechless and didn't want to say anything more. After all, the reputation was credited. But didn't the system fail to reissue the reward? You know, those online games still reward gold ingots when the system fails or updates. Such a big system should at least reissue a rare elf. I waited for half an hour with a good mood, but nothing happened. It's boring. Lin Luo went to bed. There are still 2,000 reputation points away from the little flame monkey. I have to keep working hard. I just need to beat the other two seeded players. It's not a big deal. Compared with Lin Luo, Guo Fan and Wei Yan have to work harder. It's late, and the two are still training their skills. I must defeat Lin Luo. Around 9 o'clock the next day, the others went to watch the association ranking battle together, but Lin Luo stayed in bed and didn't get up. Looking at Lin Luo's lazy appearance, Lufeng and Yang Lin were speechless for a while, and finally had to let him go. There is no way, who made Lin Luo have a bye? Lin Luo likes to slack off, so he will probably have to rest at home for a day since he has a bye. Alas, when will this guy work harder? According to his friends in other associations, those people practiced until about midnight before going home to rest. The two of them didn't care about Lin Luo anymore, and took the other 19 students to watch the game. The two of them were worried about letting these 19 people watch the game alone. Around 10 o'clock, Lin Luo finally woke up, stretched, ate something, and went out. Before going out, he asked the hotel waiter for a map. The Magic City is very big, and there are many suburbs nearby. It would be very dangerous if you accidentally get lost in an alley. You should know that there are powerful Pokémon in some dark alleys. For example, Murkrow and Ghastly, and even Hunter may appear. This is not a joke. Following the map, Lin Luo went to the suburbs to find several wild Pokémon habitats. Bellsprout, Meowth, Arbok, etc., are all around level 12. During the practice, they even found a group of Growliths. Lin Luo originally wanted to capture a Growlithe, and then exchange it for an evolution stone to evolve Growlithe into Arcanine. Arcanine will be quite handsome when it appears. Unfortunately, the qualifications of those Growliths are average, and even B-level qualifications are not found, so they have to be used as training objects. The Fire-type Growlithe faces the Steel-type and Rock-type Kokura. Although the attributes are a bit disadvantageous, Kokura has defense, and coupled with the level suppression, it quickly defeated all the opponents. After a busy morning, the training results are pretty good, but I am not used to Kokura's fighting style. Lin Luo is not used to this fighting style. For Butterfree, flying itself has a natural advantage, and with the skill of mastering telekinesis, it can be said that dodging is even more powerful. Kokidora is completely different. It is clumsy and has a hard time dodging the opponent's special moves. Although it can use guard, the success rate of guarding drops quickly if it is used continuously. Just now, when facing Caterpie Spark, Kokidora used guard 4 times and only succeeded once. The other 3 times failed. This gave Lin Luo a headache. The success rate of guarding is also a big problem. Otherwise, change a few bottles of skill proficiency potions to add Kokidora to guard. As soon as the idea came up, it was thrown away. Forget it. Reputation is a good thing. Think of other ways. Then he left here, found a place outside to have a simple meal, and continued to look for nearby Pokémon habitats. After more than 3 hours of busy work in the afternoon, he only found several monkey monster habitats. Facing the monkey monster, Kokidora suffered a great loss. Although the level has an advantage, the attributes are greatly affected. Fighting type damage has 4 times the damage value to Kokidora. Although there is an advantage in level, they are actually evenly matched. Moreover, the monkey monster is very fast. Several times, Kokidora's empty-handed slashes were hit suddenly, and Kokidora almost didn't dodge it. He was even accidentally hit by an earth throw, which scared Lin Luo. It would be embarrassing if he really lost. Fortunately, he finally won, and Lin Luo also gained some experience in dealing with fighting type. Nothing else, just run. If you encounter a fighting type Pokémon, you must not fight unless you have a strong level suppression. Lin Luo understood this truth. After returning to the city, Lin Luo did not rush back to the hotel. Anyway, it was still early and the association ranking competition had not ended yet, so Lin Luo took the time to go to the library. Previously, I heard the staff member of the Nanfang City Association say that there is no Pokémon like Ho-Oh in this world. This matter made Lin Luo very concerned. Since there are Entei, Reigong, and Suicune in this world, how could there be no Ho-Oh? So Lin Luo spent a long time looking up information about legendary Pokémon in the library. Reigong, Entei, Suicune, Zapdos, Moltres, Articuno, as well as Regirock, Regis Zalu, Regiachi, etc. These Pokémon are all recorded, and it is certain that there are witnesses to prove their existence. But there is no information about legendary Pokémon and fantasy Pokémon. Such as Lugia, Ho-Oh, such as Mew, Celebi, etc. They are as if they have never appeared, but this is obviously impossible for Lin Luo. You know, Lin Luo almost remembers the appearance of all Pokémon, and even remembers their attributes and signature moves. Why? After thinking for a long time, Lin Luo seemed to understand something. For this world, almost no one has ever seen a legendary Pokémon, only the few lucky ones have the opportunity to see it. There may be 1 or 2 people who have seen the legendary Pokémon, but they have been ignored. After all, it is almost impossible to make everyone believe that there are Pokémon that are more powerful than the legendary Pokémon. Moreover, there are not so many ancient legends in this world, and people believe more in what they see. Such as the Pokémon Ligong who descended with thunder and lightning, such as Suicune who is called the incarnation of the North Wind, such as Yandy who was born in the erupting volcano, etc. Thinking of this, Lin Luo stopped struggling, stuffed the information into the bookshelf and left. After Lin Luo left, an elderly man came over, with gray hair and wrinkles on his face, but in very good spirits. He walked to Lin Luo's position, read the information that Lin Luo took again, and then frowned slightly. Is there anything wrong with this book? The old man's name is Zheng Yuenshan, one of the compilers of this book, and also the world's top Pokémon researcher. Zheng Yuenshan has participated in almost all the information definitions about Pokémon on the market. Just now, Zheng Yuenshan saw that Lin Luo's expression was a little strange, and he felt like a child who didn't know anything. What's the problem? No, I have to ask. Zheng Yuenshan was originally a rigorous person. After discovering the problem, he wanted to know the answer immediately, so he hurriedly chased after him with the information. Lin Luo was stopped by Zheng Yuenshan as soon as he walked out of the door. What's wrong, uncle? Lin Luo asked curiously when he saw Zheng Yuenshan stopping him. This uncle had been standing beside him while he was flipping through the information, and he hardly moved. Lin Luo naturally knew him. Is there anything wrong with this information? Zheng Yuenshan asked solemnly after taking a deep breath. Lin Luo was startled, and then replied, no, the information inside is all correct. Then why did you have that expression just now? Zheng Yuenshan asked again. Lin Luo was stunned when he heard this, and then he said speechlessly, Uncle, you read it very carefully. Zheng Yuenshin was about to continue asking about the information, but Lin Luo waved his hand and smiled. I guess you should know the author of this information, and you have some thoughts in your mind, so let me tell you my opinion on this book. But I dare to speak, do you dare to listen? Zheng Yuenshin was slightly stunned when he heard this. What is there to be afraid of? Can you say anything? Looking at Zheng Yuenshin's serious look, Lin Luo knew that this old man must be an old antique, and his understanding of the world was limited to the world in front of him. Lin Luo was different. His understanding of the Pokémon world was all round. To be honest, even all the top Pokémon researchers in this world might not understand it as thoroughly as he did. Looking back at the alarm clock on the wall, there were still more than 10 minutes, so he just chatted with the old man casually. Lin Luo returned to the library and found an empty seat to sit down, and Zheng Yuenshin followed him. When the library administrator saw this, he immediately poured 2 glasses of water over. Lin Luo looked at the thoughtful administrator and thanked him, but he was met with a cold eye. Who poured it for you? I poured it for researcher Zheng, and you were just passing by. Zheng Yuenshin is almost well known in the cultural circle. Everyone who has read his papers admires his profound knowledge. Only Lin Luo didn't know him, after all, he just graduated from high school. Ignoring the administrator's contempt, he drank a sip of water and began his speech. Zheng Yuenshin's expression changed from contempt to seriousness in the middle and shock at the end. The whole process lasted only 15 minutes, but during these 15 minutes, Zheng Yuenshin felt that his brain was about to explode. Suicune, Raikou, and Entei were only the guardians of the Phoenix King. How powerful is the Phoenix King? There is also Lugia, who is the counterpart of the Phoenix King, and Regigigas, who can easily pull the continental plate. Do these Pokémon really exist? Countless questions exploded in Zheng Yuenshin's mind, and his breathing gradually became heavier. Lin Luo looked at Zheng Yuenshin, whose face was flushed with excitement, and without saying a word, hurriedly stood up and patted the back of the person opposite. Don't go over there. Lin Luo thought so in his heart, and after a long time, Zheng Yuenshin's breathing gradually calmed down. Lin Luo took this opportunity to slip out of the library. I can't say any more. If I continue, this old guy will probably really do it. You know, I just talked about the story of Ho-Oh, Lugia and Regigigas. If I tell him about the fateful battle between Groudon and Kyogre, he will definitely do it immediately. Lin Luo didn't dare to gamble, and then found an opportunity to slip away. When Zheng Yuenshin recovered and wanted to ask something else, he could only stare at the empty seat in front of him in a daze. Alas, it's really a shocking statement. After a long time, Zheng Yuenshin could only sigh secretly. For people of his age, it is a bit too shocking, but it is worth pondering if you think about it carefully. Suicune corresponds to Articuno, Raikou corresponds to Zapdos, and Entei corresponds to Moltres. Ho-Oh, Lugia, Regigigas. Thinking about these, Zheng Yuenshin's heart suddenly became more excited, but then he felt a little sad, because he didn't know his name. Otherwise, I really want to talk to him again. Zheng Yuenshin sighed and left the library. On the other side, Lin Luo, who had just returned to the hotel, happened to meet Lu Feng and others who had returned. Lu Feng was startled. You went out today? Ah, I went outside to train Kokodora. Lin Luo replied casually. Who knew that this sentence immediately made others look at him with admiration. Yang Lin looked at Lin Luo and nodded slightly to show that he did a good job, and Lu Feng even touched Lin Luo's head directly. Good boy, you finally stopped being lazy. Lin Luo reluctantly moved his head away and didn't bother to pay attention to Lu Feng. He hated Lu Feng's gesture of touching his head, especially for a man in his 30s. It always felt a little weird. Seeing Lin Luo's disgust, Lu Feng just chuckled and then talked about Lin Luo's opponent tomorrow. Your opponent tomorrow is a junior trainer in Liushan named Wushu. The Pokémon he uses are ghastly in armor. Don't worry too much about his strength. As long as you play normally tomorrow, you will win the battle. Lu Feng's words were not exaggerated. Lin Luo's victory over Zheng Hai was almost equivalent to winning all the junior trainers, of course Wei Yan and Guo Fan were not included. The three of them were considered to be at the same level. Lin Luo also nodded, he thought so too. If nothing unexpected happened, the top three in the finals would be him, Wei Yan, and Guo Fan. Speaking of the Pokémon of the other two, he had not seen much. He only knew that Wei Yan had a duckbill baby, so he asked casually, what are Wei Yan and Guo Fan's Pokémon? As soon as the voice fell, Lu Feng narrowed his eyes and showed a hee-hee expression. It seems that I am still a little worried. Lin Luo looked at Lu Feng and didn't want to pay attention to him. He was just curious. Then he looked at Yang Lin. Yang Lin rolled her eyes at Lu Feng and said, Wei Yan's are Duckling and Charmeleon, Guo Fan's are Swampert and Eevee. Quote. Lin Luo was stunned when he heard this. They actually each have a starter Pokémon. Their family conditions are too good. You should know that the starter Pokémon are already quite rare, and their habitats are strictly guarded by the government. As for wild ones, forget it, it is almost impossible to encounter them. And if you want to go to the breeding center to buy one, you not only need to make an appointment in advance, but the price is also sky high. But the two of them can actually own one each, which is really infuriating. Thinking of this, Lin Luo couldn't help but feel angry. Why can they have a starter Pokémon so easily, but why is it so difficult for me to get a little flaming monkey? Thinking of this, he turned his eyes to the little flaming monkey in the reputation store, and he was even more indignant. Just wait, I will torture you to death in the finals. Lu Feng and Yang Lin on the side looked at Lin Luo, whose face was gradually becoming ferocious, and couldn't help but look at each other. What's wrong with him? It's not worrying, it's just it looks a bit envious. Is he jealous? An idea suddenly popped up in the minds of the two. The battle started as usual at 9:30 the next day. Lin Luo played particularly fiercely today. Although the opponent's Pokémon was also around level 16, it had no advantage over Lin Luo's Butterfree. Butterfree had been looking for an opportunity to dance with butterflies. After dancing with butterflies 2 or 3 times, it killed the opponent's Pokémon with a silver whirlwind. The same was true for the second one. Butterfly dance, silver whirlwind, instant kill. Lin Luo was still the first to stand on the stage. This time the leader of the association was a little panicked. I don't know if Wei Yan and Guo Fan can withstand the butterfly dance and silver whirlwind. Thinking of this, I subconsciously looked at the two people fighting under the stage. Wei Yan's Charmeleon used a Flame Fang to easily defeat the opponent's Korra, and Guo Fan's Swampert also won easily. No problem, definitely no problem. Quote. The leader of the association told himself loudly in his heart. The morning battle ended quickly, and the afternoon battle began as usual. Compared to the morning, there seemed to be fewer people in the stands in the afternoon. After 2 or 3 days of fighting, everyone's strength was roughly clear, and who would advance to the finals was also clear. Sure enough, with the end of the last battle in the afternoon, the qualification for promotion was also announced. Just as everyone guessed. Lin Luo, Wei Yan, Guo Fan. Among them, Lin Luo's strength was the strongest in the estimation, because from the first battle to now, Lin Luo has not used the second Pokémon. The audience in the stands were extremely excited to see the last 3 people left on the stage, especially Lu Feng's area. The 19 people brought by Lu Feng were now shouting loudly for Lin Luo to cheer on. The student named Zhang Sheng shouted especially loudly. He has become a little fan of Lin Luo in the past few days. He no longer dreamed of challenging the opponent's Butterfree and trying to win. To be honest, Lin Luo has now become Zhang Sheng's belief in his heart, and belief will never lose. The leader of the association on the stage wiped his cold sweat. At this moment, he didn't know why he always felt a little panic in his heart, as if he had no backbone. He glanced at Lin Luo beside him from time to time with a guilty conscience. Is this little guy so ferocious today? In the few battles today, Lin Luo almost let Butterfree dodge first and then use Butterfly Dance, followed by the strong crushing of Silver Whirlwind. No matter who it is, it can't hold on. Even the rock-type Onyx. In the afternoon, when Lin Luo was fighting Onyx, Butterfly danced 3 times, and finally used a Silver Whirlwind to take away Onyx without any injury. This scene is still fresh in his memory. He still remembers the expression of the student at that time, and he almost cried. He took several deep breaths, and then said in a deep voice, I declare that the final 3 players are Guo Fan from Lunan Trainer Association, Wei Yan from Shandong Trainer Association and Lin Luo from Nanfang City Trainer Association. As soon as the voice fell, the stands burst into applause. Until the applause stopped, he spoke again. Tomorrow morning, the final of the final association freshman ranking battle will be held. The specific competition system will be told to everyone when the final battle starts tomorrow morning. Now please look forward to the arrival of the final. Everyone returned to the hotel, and Lu Feng was naturally excited. It was already very good to be able to make it to the semi-finals, but he didn't expect that Lin Luo actually made it to the finals. And judging from his performance, he might even win the championship. The champion of the association's freshman ranking tournament, which was something that could only be thought of in previous years, unexpectedly came true this year. Shortly after returning to the hotel, Lin Luo's family in Nanfangfang City also called him via video. They also learned from the association's vice president in Junction that their son was so powerful that he had made it to the top 3 of the Xinhui Association's freshman ranking tournament. And from the tone of the vice president, he said that the championship was also a must. Lin Luo's mother didn't know about this event, but Lin Luo's father knew about it. Then he snatched the video phone from the vice president and told Lin Luo not to be proud, saying that the opponent in the finals was very difficult. Lin Luo had a headache after hearing this, and casually said that he had captured a rock-type Pokémon, so he shut up. He stood aside obediently thinking about his rock-type Pokémon training plan. As for Lin Luo's mother, she said a few homely words to make Lin Luo feel the warmth of home, and finally Injunction said a few words of encouragement and hung up. Lu Feng was even more excited after receiving the encouragement from the association. He kept encouraging Lin Luo to cheer up, which gave Lin Luo a headache. Finally, Lin Luo asked Yang Lin to take Lu Feng, who seemed to have taken stimulants, back to the room to rest in peace. Lin Luo lay on the bed and thought for a while, then took out the level candies in his backpack. There were 16 left over from some time ago, plus the ones saved in the past few days. After hesitating for a while, he took out 5 each and gave them to Butterfree and Cocodora, and the 2 Pokémon were upgraded to level 25 at the same time. Then they all learned new tricks. Cocodora's was Rock Slide, and Butterfree's was Air Blade. Rock Slide. Slam a large rock into the opponent and attack, with a chance of scaring. Air Blade. Use a sharp blade formed by air to attack the opponent, with a chance of hitting the vital point and scaring the opponent. Looking at the new tricks, Lin Luo felt a little relieved. Today, I saw that Wei Yan and Guo Fan's Pokémon were close to level 20. My 2 Pokémon were no longer safe, so I indulged myself a little. I also let Butterfree and Cocodora experience the feeling of flying. Butterfree was already used to it, but it was Cocodora's first time. It was surprised to feel that it seemed to be much stronger. Butterfree flapped its wings lightly to show a small scene. You should know that I evolved directly from Caterpillar to Butterfree. Cocodora approached Lin Luo and nudged him intimately, leaving Lin Luo speechless. This kid also evolved directly into Boscadora. Lin Luo refused of course. Boscadora still has to be level 17. When the level candy is used up, it will be gone. If you want it, you have to exchange it for reputation, which is not possible. He has to save the reputation to exchange for Blaziken, but he can't enter. It's not possible to transform into Boscadora, but it's still possible to evolve into Kadora, and it only needs 7 levels of candy. Kadora shouted happily when she heard this, and it will evolve into Kadora soon. Lin Luo looked at Kadora spinning in circles and was a little speechless. It's not going to evolve immediately, why are you so happy? He put the 2 Pokémon into the Pokéball and rested peacefully, not knowing what the competition system will be tomorrow. But no matter what it is, I will definitely win. On the other side, Wei Yan and Guo Fan were listening to the leaders talk. Tomorrow's finals at the association headquarters are going to be a double match system, that is, a points match between doubles and singles. The one with the highest points will be the champion. You two should work hard and make sure to win the championship. Guo Fan nodded, and Wei Yan asked in confusion, didn't it always be a singles match in previous years? Why this year? The man opposite was stunned and shook his head and said, this is the decision of the top management. I don't know the reason. Wei Yan looked puzzled and didn't say anything, just nodded. I know. As the two left the association, the man sat back in his chair and looked at the email that the upper-level leader had just sent to him, feeling a little helpless. I really don't know why the upper management changed the competition system temporarily. Isn't it just a rare Pokemon's elf egg? As for changing the competition system, the man was a little speechless. The reward for the first place in the association's freshman ranking battle this time is a rare elf egg, which is said to have excellent qualifications. Such an excellent Pokemon, the association headquarters certainly wants it to be in the hands of the junior trainer of the Magic City Association. I thought it would be the same as usual, but I didn't expect Lin Luo to suddenly appear, which put the top management in a bit of a crisis. So they jointly pressured the association to change the competition system, and at all costs, they had to keep this excellent Pokemon in the hands of Wei Yan or Guo Fan. But to be honest, he was a little disgusted. If they wanted to keep it in their hands, they could just give it to them directly. Why should they treat it as a reward? Although he had an opinion, he didn't dare to raise it. He was just an elite trainer. And the experienced trainers with strength went to open gyms in various places. If he wasn't strong enough, he would have left long ago. The reason they went to open gyms was that they didn't want to get involved in the association's mess, of course, including those master trainers. In this way, the top management of the association headquarters can make whatever trouble they want, as long as they don't involve themselves. Thinking of this, the man couldn't help but sigh. When will this day end? At the same time, in an office at the headquarters of the Magic City Association, a middle-aged man with a serious expression was playing today's battle video in a loop. The protagonist in the video was Lin Luo. Lin Luo's performance was obviously very good, but the man was frowning. Lin Luo, where did he come from? He checked all the information about Lin Luo these days and knew that Lin Luo had a car accident 3 years ago, and then transferred to Nanfang's hometown for treatment. After recovery, he went to the local Pokémon high school. His school grades in the past 3 years were very average, and the turning point was a month ago. The most ordinary green caterpillar that had just been received directly skipped a grade and evolved into Butterfree. Not only did it learn the butterfly dance, but it also defeated an intermediate trainer under Lin Luo's command. Under Lin Luo's command, the man's brows were still frowning. Afterwards, Lin Luo taught the butterfly dance to insect experts from all over the country, which caused a short-lived insect craze. Now in the hearts of insect trainers, Lin Luo's position is definitely ranked first. After observing for a few days, Lin Luo's fighting talent is indeed quite outstanding. But what's more surprising is what's coming next. According to the surveillance video of the Magic City, after Lin Luo came to the Magic City, he had exchanges with Yang Zhao and Luan. Afterwards, Luan took Lin Luo to capture the second Pokémon. If we had known that Luan and the Trainer Association had an unfriendly relationship, he would have participated in the exhibition match for Yang Zhao's sake. But he actually took Lin Luo to capture the second Pokémon. This is puzzling. Luan and Lin Luo just met, are they really compatible? He doesn't believe it. Originally, it would be nothing if Lin Luo took the Pokémon with excellent qualifications, but Luan's behavior made him have to be a little concerned. To be on the safe side, he joined forces with the top management to pressure the president to change the competition system so that the other party could not successfully take away the Pokémon egg with excellent qualifications. Unless the man suddenly had an idea, and then made a phone call, and smiled faintly after hanging up. At 10 o'clock the next day, the competition area. There were countless spectators in the stands, and the host was still giving a passionate speech. Lin Luo had to admit that the other party was very passionate, and Guo Fan and Wei Yan beside him were excited. As for Lin Luo himself, he shouted a few times in cooperation. Afterwards, the host announced several special guests. The first one is the current president of the Trainer Association, President Hu Hang. Hu Hang is an old man in his 60s. Although he is full of white hair, he is still energetic. After he came on stage, he glanced at the three people, and then looked at Lin Luo. You are very good, work hard and strive to get the first place. The short words made countless applause on the stage. The next one is Mr. Lin Lang from Shandong. Mr. Lin Lang is not only a powerful gym trainer, but his Pokémon strength has reached the master level. After Lin Lang came on stage, he nodded slightly, and then glanced at the three people. At this time, Lin Luo just heard Wei Yan's whispering words beside him. Teacher. Lin Luo's eyes widened immediately. It turns out that your teacher is a master trainer, no wonder you have a starter Pokémon. Okay, I'm not jealous anymore. If a master trainer asks in person, the training center must send the starter Pokémon in person. Then Guo Fan must have a master trainer as his master. Lin Luo unconsciously looked at Guo Fan at the end, and Guo Fan happened to see Lin Luo's eyes and was speechless. Why are you looking at me? Then the two of them tacitly turned their eyes away, and the host on the stage spoke again. Next, let's welcome the last one, Mr. Zheng Yuanshan, the top Pokémon researcher. As soon as the voice fell, Lin Luo saw a familiar figure walking onto the stage. Hey, isn't that the old man from the day before yesterday? Zheng Yuanshan smiled positively, and suddenly saw the young man in the audience and was stunned. Isn't this the young man he has been thinking about? Then he ignored the host who handed him the microphone, and walked off the stage quickly to Lin Luo's side. Do you have time? Let's talk again. Zheng Yuanshan asked tentatively, which made Lin Luo laugh and cry, and said helplessly, how can I have time? Can't you see I'm playing? Okay, let's talk after the game. Zheng Yuanshan said and ran to the stage quickly. His agile figure made it hard for people to believe that he was an old man in his 70s. At this time, the two people on the stage were stunned. In terms of age, Zheng Yuanshan is 4 or 5 years older than Hu Hang. In terms of seniority, Lin Lang has to call him Mr. Zheng. Lin Luo is only 16 or 17 years old. How do you know Zheng Yuanshan? The two asked curiously at the same time. As Zheng Yuanshan returned to his seat, the host was a little embarrassed. He wiped his sweat lightly and didn't care. Then he announced the competition system. The competition was divided into doubles and singles. The three players took turns to play against each other. Each win added 1 point, each loss subtracted 1 point, and no points were scored for a tie. After the game, the one with the highest score was the champion. Of course, the host also announced the reward for the first place. Baby Dragon's Elf Egg. Lin Luo was so shocked that he couldn't speak after just a glance, and almost swore. Name: Baby Dragon Elf Egg. Status: to be hatched. Attribute: Dragon. Characteristics: unknown. HP individual value: 31 attack individual value. 31 defense individual value. 31 special attack individual value. 31 special defense individual value. 31 speed individual value. 31 total individual value. Qualification evaluation: S qualification 45%, A qualification 50%, B qualification 5%, C qualification 0%, D qualification 0%. Baby Dragon with guaranteed A qualification, and even a high possibility of S qualification. The association headquarters is really generous. They actually took Baby Dragon's Pokémon egg as a reward. Lin Luo had no idea that those people had no way to express their suffering. After seeing that this Pokémon egg would be the reward for the first place, they all looked bitter. This was originally prepared for those 3 people, who would have thought that you would enter the finals. Only one of the people in the stands looked at Lin Luo with a smile. After that, the game officially started, and the first to start was the singles match. The first game was between Guo Fan and Wei Yan. At the beginning, both sides sent out Eevee and Duckbill. Duckbill had the advantage, but was hit by Eevee's digging a hole and was instantly seriously injured. Then he was hit by a lightning flash and lost his combat ability on the spot. But then, Charmeleon obviously lacked stamina and was directly knocked away by Charmeleon's move and lost his ability to fight. Then he faced Swampert. Although Charmeleon fought with great momentum at the beginning and his special move was very powerful, he was hit by Swampert's water wave, and the situation of the game became one-sided. Although Wei Yan regretted it, he lost. Then he and Guo Fan rested for half an hour, and during the rest period, the professional Pokémon doctor also started to treat the Pokémon. Finally, the treatment was over. After the two looked at each other, Wei Yan said, "I'll go first." Guo Fan nodded. Wei Yan and Lin Luo stood on both sides of the platform. Before the referee spoke, Lin Luo took the lead in releasing his Pokémon. Cocodora. As soon as Cocodora appeared, everyone was shocked. Is this Lin Luo's second Pokémon? Wei Yan's face was obviously not good after seeing Cocodora. Cocodora, a rock-type Pokémon, just restrains his fire-type Pokémon in terms of attributes. According to what Zheng Hai said before, Kokodora is as strong as Butterfree, but for Wei Yan, it's better to deal with Butterfree than Kokodora. After all, there is still an attribute advantage to deal with Butterfree, but it's completely different to deal with Kokodora. The attributes are completely unfavorable, and then he cast a look at Guo Fan. I can only do my best in this game. Guo Fan had no choice but to nod. Who would have thought that Lin Luo used Kokodora, which he had never used before, at the beginning? This is to use attribute suppression to completely defeat Wei Yan. However, Wei Yan did not admit defeat and still firmly sent out Charmeleon. Although Wei Yan was full of confidence, he was still completely defeated in the face of the double suppression of attributes and levels. Charmeleon and Duckbill were almost completely defeated by Lin Luo's Kokodora. He lost one game to Lin Luo and Guo Fan respectively, and his game points were already -2 points. In this way, he was undoubtedly in third place. Alas! Wei Yan looked at Lin Lang who was sitting beside him. Lin Lang had no expression and just nodded lightly without saying anything. Seeing this, Wei Yan clenched his fists tightly. He had to win the next doubles game no matter what. After the break, it was finally Lin Luo's turn to play against Guo Fan. Guo Fan originally thought that Lin Luo would use Butterfree, but he didn't expect Lin Luo to still use Kokodora. This made Guo Fan, who was about to release Eevee, stop his gesture. He actually let Kokodora start. Didn't he know that he had Swampert? At this time, Hu Hang on the stage took this opportunity to chat with Zheng Yuenshen. Brother, that Lin Luo is only 17 or 18 years old, right? How did you know each other? Lin Lang also turned his head slightly when he heard this. Zheng Yuenshen casually told the two about what happened the day before yesterday, and they were both shocked. Ho-oh. Lugia. Regikikas. What is this all about? Is it a fairy tale? And Guo Fan on the stage released Swampert after hesitating. Although he didn't understand what the other party was thinking, attribute suppression was attribute suppression, so he had to defeat Kokodora first. As for Butterfree, don't worry about it for now. His Swampert can use the Ice-type Frostwind, while Eevee can use Sparks, so they both have advantages in attributes. Swampert, use Water Wave. Guo Fan directly ordered the use of Water Wave. The most effective trick against the Rock type is the Water type, and the strongest Water type trick that Swampert has is Water Wave. Lin Luo smiled and ordered, use Rock Seal. Hearing this, Kokodora stomped his feet, and 4 rocks instantly stood up around his body, isolating the Water Wave trick outside. Guo Fan was stunned. Rock Seal can be used like this. Kokodora, charge. Kokodora took advantage of the force to jump up and rushed straight towards the Swamp Jumper. So direct. Guo Fan was stunned and then ordered, then use Mud Attack. But Lin Luo did not speak. The trainer did not give an order, so Kokodora naturally kept rushing and never retreated. At this time, Lin Lang, who was sitting aside and watching the battle, became interested. He didn't retreat but kept getting closer. It seems that this kid is planning to get close to the battle to decide the outcome. To be honest, this is a good choice, but it is not wise. You know, the damage of Mud Attack is quite effective. Can that Kokodora hold on? Lin Lang kept looking at Kokodora. But what he didn't expect was that Kokodora rushed forward as if it was not affected. Guo Fan was also stunned by Kokodora's strangeness. What's wrong with this Kokodora? With Kokodora's persistence, it finally reached the opponent, and then Lin Luo suddenly spoke. Use Roar. Kokodora suddenly bent up and roared loudly. Swampert was instantly scared back into the Pokeball, and Eevee was replaced. At this time, Eevee was looking at Kokodora with a confused face, and it was not only Eevee who was in a confused state, but also Guo Fan and Lin Lang on the stage. After a while, Lin Lang came back to his senses and said helplessly, "What a Lin Luo, playing like this." He didn't need to roar when fighting Wei Yan just now, but now he caught Guo Fan off guard. It seems that Eevee is going to be eliminated. On the battlefield at this time. As expected, Ibrahimovic, who was temporarily substituted, was caught off guard and didn't know what to do. But Lin Luo had already made preparations and gave the order immediately. All, use the Iron Head skill with all your strength. Kokodora had already accumulated enough strength and rushed forward fiercely. Ibrahimovic immediately wailed and took several steps back, but Lin Luo's fierce attack was not over yet. Metal Claw. Kokadora received another Metal Claw move. Ibrahimovic was already covered in wounds when he first appeared on the stage. Guo Fan came to his senses and immediately asked Ibrahimovic to use the digging hole to escape. But Lin Luo ordered again, seal with rocks. Kokadora stomped his front foot, and Ibrahimovic was immediately lifted up by several rocks. Ibrahimovic lost his balance and fell down. One more time, Iron Head skill. Quote. Then Kokadora jumped up and hit Ibrahimovic's head with another Iron Head move. Ibrahimovic lost his ability to fight on the spot. Guo Fan was a little dazed when he saw Ibrahimovic losing his ability to fight almost in the blink of an eye, and he didn't come back to his senses until cheers came from the stands. He had no choice but to take back Ibrahimovic, and then looked at Lin Luo, who was indifferent on the opposite side, with a very bitter smile. He never thought that his Ibrahimovic would leave the stage in this way. The three people in the stands nodded in unison. This combo was really good. Even Lin Lang was amazed. I didn't expect that using Kokadora could also make such a lightning-fast attack, which was really unexpected. Lin Luo smiled faintly as he watched the other party release the Swampert again. It seems that the combo I thought of last night was very effective. Almost instantly Ibrahimovic lost his ability to fight. Guo Fan on the opposite side was completely disrupted in his rhythm, and he had no choice but to attack desperately, but he was like a child in front of Lin Luo who looked calm. Swampert's endless attacks were blocked by the rock seal, and the last key water wave was completely blocked by the defense. Lin Lang on the stage was speechless again when he saw this. This kid actually didn't use the defense. Rock seal plus defense, isn't this absolute defense? The last killer move was also blocked by Kokadora, and Guo Fan was completely helpless. Next, Guo Fan thought of many ways but still couldn't break through Kokadora's defense. Finally, Kokadora used a rock collapse to completely knock Swampert away. This battle was completely over. And Lin Luo won again. The people in the stands were stunned when they saw that Guo Fan's Pokémon was still defeated by Lin Luo's Pokémon. A moment later, thunderous applause rang out in the stands again, and the middle-aged man smiled even more. Such a good talent will soon be a member of the Magic City Trainer Association. In addition to the applause in the stands, the applause of the three people watching the game also rang out one after another. Especially Lin Lang, he now admires this little guy Lin Luo very much. He actually used Kokadora's roar to fight a lightning war, and with the thunderous momentum, Guo Fan's Eevee lost his combat ability in an instant. In addition, the next battle against Swampert was also remarkable. Although the attributes were unfavorable, he used the mastered tricks to defend against Swampert's offensive, which was very powerful. Most people would never think of using offensive tricks to defend against the opponent, which made Lin Lang admire it very much. At the end of the singles match, Lin Luo won all the matches and scored 2 points, Guo Fan won 1 match and lost 1 match and scored 1 point, and Wei Yan lost both matches and scored 0 points. Next, the doubles match continued. In the first match, Lin Luo played against Wei Yan. Wei Yan lost, but in the second match, Wei Yan actually won a round against Guo Fan. After another hour or two, the result finally came out. Lin Luo scored 4 points and became the first in the association's freshman ranking, while Wei Yan and Guo Fan had equal points and entered the playoffs. In the playoffs, both of them tried their best, but in the end, Guo Fan won the second place, and Wei Yan could only regretfully rank third. Lin Lang admired Wei Yan's appearance. Although he lost in the end, the process was very exciting. For this reason, after the game, Lin Lang specially comforted Wei Yan. After the comfort, the host finally announced the result. Lin Luo from the Nanfang City Trainer Association won first place, Guo Fan from the Lunan Trainer Association won second place, and Wei Yan from the Shandong Trainer Association came in third place. This result was very different from what everyone in the stands had predicted. No one had guessed that Lin Luo would win first place. At this time, Lu Feng and others from Nanfang City cheered and were happy for Lin Luo, and in Junction, the vice president of Nanfang City in front of the TV station, was also very excited. For the first time in my life, Nanfang City won the championship in the association's freshman ranking tournament, all thanks to Lin Luo. When Lin Luo comes back, I have to reward him well, or give him special approval to become an intermediate trainer. Take a few more days off and have a good rest. After all, it was quite tiring to go to the Magic City these few days. Well, okay, let's do it when Lin Luo comes back. The center of the Magic City competition area. As the competition came to an end, the president of the association, Hu Hang, awarded medals and awards. After awarding the runner-up medal and the third-place medal in succession, he walked in front of Lin Luo. He is now also beginning to be interested in this young man from Nanfang City. It seems that what that person said is really good. Not only is the Pokémon powerful, but it also has great fighting talent. It seems that this is really a good suggestion. Originally, I thought it was redundant, but now it seems that the other party is foresighted. Hu Heng put the championship medal on Lin Luo's neck. At the same time, the prompt in Lin Luo's mind finally sounded. System. Congratulations to the host for winning the first place in the association's freshman ranking battle. Reward level Candy X15, Qualification Enhancement Potion Intermediate. Looking at the rewards that fell into the backpack, Lin Luo was so happy that he couldn't close his mouth. Haha, this time I'm rich. The 15 level candies rewarded by the system plus the 6 in the backpack are a total of 21. Even if Kokodora evolves, there are still 4 left. Plus a bottle of qualification potion. Tisk tisk, Boskdora, it's really cool. Of course, the real top quality item has not yet been obtained. Lin Luo looked at the precious dragon elf egg that was slowly pushed from far to near, his eyes full of passion. This is the most precious reward. It was obviously just an elf egg, but Lin Luo seemed to see an extremely powerful blood-winged dragon soaring in the sky and roaring. Ah! Lin Luo wanted to howl a few times, but fortunately the remaining rationality in his brain controlled him. Next, it's the reward for the first place. Precious dragon elf egg. The host deliberately spoke half a beat slower. When he said the final reward, the applause in the stands reached its peak and could not calm down for a long time. Just as Lin Luo was about to take the elf egg with joy, President Hu Heng picked up the microphone in the host's hand and coughed a few times. First of all, let us congratulate Lin Luo from the Nanfang City Trainer Association for winning the first place. Secondly, I am also happy that the Trainer Association can have such a good seedling. As soon as the voice fell, applause rang out in the stands. The words sounded nice, but Lin Luo felt something was not right. As expected, after a moment the president then looked at Lin Luo again. You have excellent talent, but the platform in Nanfang City is not big enough. Are you willing to come to the Magic City Trainer Association? You can choose the Shanggong Trainer Association, the Lunan Trainer Association, or the Yuanman Trainer Association. After the words fell, everyone was stunned. Guo Fan and Wei Yan beside Lin Luo were also stunned. Want Lin Luo to come to the Magic City. But Lu Feng and Yang Lin in the stands were about to curse. What does it mean? Poaching people. And poaching in front of them. Is there such a way to do things at the Trainer Association headquarters? At this time, Hu Heng in the stands was looking at Lin Luo with a smile on his face, as if he had heard Lin Luo's answer. How many people dream of being able to enter the Magic City Trainer Association? He didn't believe that Lin Luo would not be tempted. And this condition was also proposed by the man last night. Lin Luo was calm on the one hand, but he was extremely ashamed in his heart. This greedy attitude is exactly the same as those people in the previous life. They poach outstanding talents as soon as they see them, regardless of what will happen to the local people. How could Lin Luo come to the Magic City? Then he pretended to think for a while, and then said. My parents are seasick, so I can't come to the Magic City. As soon as the voice fell, the stands seemed to fall into a strange silence, and Lu Feng laughed loudly, and even Yang Lin couldn't hold it back. You can come up with such an excuse. You are really good. And Hu Heng seemed to be unable to believe his ears. Just as he was about to ask again, he saw Lin Luo suddenly staring at him with his big eyes and asked. President, can I have the elf egg? Hu Heng was a little embarrassed to ask again, so he handed the elf egg behind him to Lin Luo, and went back to his seat. Seeing this, Lin Lang next to Hu Heng immediately moved his chair a little, his eyes full of disdain. This is why he looked down on the association headquarters. All the good seedlings want to be brought to the headquarters, how can it be so good? You must have hit a tough guy. Zheng Yuenshan did not move his position. The matter of the Trainer Association had nothing to do with him. He was just interested in what the boy said. If what he said was true, it would cause a sensation around the world after it was published. This is what he cares about most. As for what the association will do, he doesn't care, but there is one thing, Lin Luo must not get into trouble. Whoever dares to mess with Lin Luo, he will mess with him. His Pokémon is not strong, but he has many friends. There are several strong gym owners who often chat with him. Lin Luo, who was in the center of the stage, was holding the Pokémon egg and grinning. Haha, the S-level baby dragon is in hand. Now, there are 3 S-level ones. Butterfree, plus Kokodora who will soon become S-level, and the unhatched baby dragon. Tisk 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 tisk, this is going to be a great rhythm. At the same time, the man who made the suggestion on the stand had a gloomy face. Okay, if you dare to reject my suggestion, then forget about taking the elf egg away. The association's freshman ranking tournament finally ended, and Lin Luo certainly didn't forget to chat with Zheng Yuenshan for a while. During the chat, seeing the other party's increasingly heavy breathing, Lin Luo hurriedly stopped and told him to sort out the information first and continue the chat when he came to the Magic City next time. Zheng Yuenshan nodded repeatedly. He also had to digest today's information well. Before leaving, he asked Lin Luo's name, and Lin Luo casually said it. Zheng Yuenshan nodded and secretly made a decision to put Lin Luo's name before his own when he published the paper. After returning to the hotel, Lu Feng and Yang Lin, who led the team, were very excited. Lin Luo actually won the first place in the association's freshman ranking tournament. This is the first time in history, and they are witnesses on the scene. Maybe they will also go down in history in the future. Moreover, at the end, Hu Heng invited Lin Luo to join the Trainer Association of the Magic City, but Lin Luo actually refused the invitation on the grounds that his parents were seasick. Thinking about it now, Lu Feng is almost laughing to death. You are the only one who has this kind of brain circuit. Yang Lin also laughed so hard that she couldn't close her mouth beside him, but Lin Luo's mind was not on them at this time, but on the baby dragon elf egg. The hatching degree is not even 0.1%. Should I go to the reputation store to see if there are any props to accelerate hatching? Then I opened the reputation store and found that there are indeed some. Hatching acceleration potion. Double the hatching speed, exchange conditions, 1000 reputation points, and the upper limit is 4 times. Ah, there is an upper limit of 1000 per bottle. Lin Luo was speechless for a while. He didn't want to change it at first, but when he saw that the reputation value had reached 20,000, he decided to be extravagant. Change it for 4. He casually exchanged 4 exchange accelerators and used them on the baby dragon elf egg. Lin Luo liked this arrogant feeling very much, but when he looked down, he found that he had lost 4,000 reputation points in an instant, and he felt painful again. Forget it, I won't look at it. Out of sight, out of mind. To be honest, this is just like some micropayments. You can't see it, but the money is gone after swiping it. You still have to control it. Lin Luo nodded secretly, and then looked at the baby dragon elf egg in front of him. After about 5 minutes, the hatching progress increased by 0.1%. Lin Luo felt that he was cheated. He wanted to complain but didn't know where to complain. After a moment, he sighed and let it go. This is at least a visible progress bar. Before going to bed, Lu Feng and Yang Lin also returned to their respective rooms, and Lin Luo took out Kokodora after thinking for a while. After careful consideration, Lin Luo decided to use the qualification potion first, and then directly let Kokodora evolve into Boskder. To be honest, Lin Luo didn't want to evolve so early, but for some reason, Lin Luo always had an ominous premonition in his heart. Then he used the qualification potion on Kokodora and used 17 magical candies in one breath. As Kokodora was gradually enveloped by brilliant white light, a huge figure appeared in the room. Lin Luo felt a strong sense of oppression at the first glance. Is this Boskadora? Lin Luo looked at the Boskadora in front of him with shining eyes, and his adrenaline could not stop soaring, as if it would burst through his throat in the next second. As soon as Boskadora appeared and was about to roar, he was taken back by Lin Luo. Are you kidding? This is a hotel. If you roar in a hotel, the hotel staff will think you are under a terrorist attack. He ran out of the hotel secretly, took a car to the nearby suburbs, and then released Boscadora. The moment he was released, Boscadora could no longer suppress his desire, and a terrifying roar resounded throughout the suburbs. In an instant, countless wild Pokémon crawled on the ground and dared not move. Even the Pidgeot flying in the sky trembled and almost fell to the ground. Is this my power? Boscadora looked at his claws as if he was still dreaming, and then looked at Lin Luo gratefully. Thank you, trainer. If I were alone, I don't know when I could finally evolve. Boscadora walked in front of Lin Luo, looking at Lin Luo who was shorter than him without any disdain, but showed a face of gratitude. Lin Luo saw the gratitude in Boscadora's eyes, and then smiled. Go and release it, let me see your strength. Boscadora nodded and roared towards the nearby open area. Rock Blockade, Metal Claws, Roar, Iron Head Skill, Rock Collapse, Iron Head Skill, Metal Sound. Several tricks emerged one after another, and the power was so powerful that Lin Luo couldn't help but marvel. Boscadora is so powerful, then when the baby dragon evolves into a blood-winged dragon, it will be even more terrifying. Lin Luo is a little curious about the blood-winged dragon. So far, in the wild, almost no one has ever seen a wild blood-winged dragon, and there is only a chance to see it in a rare dragon secret realm. And the dragon secret realm is at least allowed to be entered by senior trainers. It's just that it's too early for me to enter the secret realm, so I'd better try it for a few days, after all, I'm just a junior trainer. Lin Luo nodded with satisfaction. If those elite trainers heard what he was thinking, they would probably be furious. With a powerful Pokémon like Boscadora, you still dare to say that you are a junior trainer. Pokémon of the level of Boscadora may only be possessed by senior trainers, and some senior trainers don't even have it. You still dare to say that you are just a junior trainer, please don't insult junior trainers. At this time, Boscadora was having a great time, and suddenly there was a cry in the sky in the distance, and a trainer flew directly over on a flying Pokémon. He was immediately excited after seeing the wild Boscadora. I didn't expect to meet a wild Boscador here. Okay, I must subdue you. After subduing you, I will be confident of passing the senior trainer assessment. After approaching Boscador, he jumped down and immediately released his Pokémon, the fire-type Charmeleon. Lin Luo, who was far away, saw that the man was in trouble and quickly stepped forward to take a look at Charmeleon. Level 38. Then let Boscador fight by himself, and then he retreated far away without saying anything. At this time, Boscador seemed to feel that Lin Luo was looking at him, so he moved his eyes over. Under the moonlight, Lin Luo's figure was dim, and the man couldn't see clearly, but Boscador saw Lin Luo nodding slightly. Then he roared wildly and attacked Charmeleon. The man looked relaxed when he saw this. Wild Pokémon are wild Pokémon, and they can only attack fiercely. Duck-billed Fire Dragon, dodge and use Flame Vortex. Duck-billed Fire Dragon easily dodged, and then the super close-range Flame Vortex hit it head-on. Although Boscadora was hit, the damage was not high because he had the attribute of rock. Boscadora roared and stomped on the ground suddenly. Countless rocks protruded from the ground and locked the duck-billed Fire Dragon, and then rushed straight over. The combined trick of Rock Blockade and Iron Head skill made the opponent stunned. This Boscadora is good, then I have to subdue you. After the duck-billed Fire Dragon was knocked away, the man quickly ordered the use of Phosphorus Fire. A purple flame was particularly obvious in the dark night, floating into Boscadora's body, and Boscadora was wrapped in flames in a moment. Burned state. The effect of the burn and the double damage of the flame vortex caused Boscadora to suffer some minor injuries. But Boscadora felt that he could still fight, so he rushed forward again. Lin Luo frowned slightly. The opponent wanted to fight a war of attrition. If he continued to fight like this, Boscadora would definitely lose. Then he hesitated for a moment and looked at the skill column of the reputation store to see if there was any water-based trick that Boscadora could master. After scanning for a while, his eyes suddenly lit up. The trick Surf, with a power of 90, is a bit expensive to exchange for reputation, 15,000 reputation points. When he was hesitating whether to exchange it, he saw the introduction of the trick. Surf. Use big waves to attack all Pokémon around. After learning it, you can move freely in the sea. A trick that allows you to move freely in the sea, you must exchange it. Then he gritted his teeth and exchanged a surf for Boscadora to learn, and let the little flame monkey go for the time being. I just got a baby dragon's elf egg, and I will talk about it after the baby dragon evolves first. And the quasi-god is not more attractive than the three starters. Boscadora, who was fighting tiredly, was suddenly startled, and suddenly understood something in his mind. Is this a new trick? The man on the opposite side saw that Boscadora could not move, thinking that he was tired, and was overjoyed. Duck-billed fire dragon, give him the last fire punch. The duck-billed fire dragon suddenly accelerated and rushed towards Boscadora, and its claws were gradually wrapped in burning flames. Just when it was about to hit, Lin Luo's figure slowly walked out under the moonlight and whispered, surfing. The man was stunned. There was someone next to him. Could it be that this Boscadora was his? Boscadora in the distance roared and stomped on the ground when he heard the words, and suddenly a surging wave suddenly appeared, madly swallowing everything around. The duck-billed fire dragon was submerged by the waves in just a moment, and the other party was completely dumbfounded, with disbelief in his mind. How could Boscadora learn the surfing trick? After the duck-billed fire dragon was killed instantly by the surf, Lin Luo was ready to leave, but the man took a few steps forward, and Lin Luo immediately gave an order. Rock seal lock. As soon as the words fell, several towering rocks rose up and blocked the other party's sight. When he finally got around the rocks, he found that Lin Luo's figure had disappeared. The man looked back at the Rathalos that had fainted on the ground, and felt powerless in his heart. Is this the strength of a top trainer? After Lin Luo got rid of the man in the night, he stopped a car and returned to the hotel. I had a great time with Boscadora tonight, but my reputation was almost gone. 4 hatching potions cost 4,000 reputation, and 1 surf cost 15,000 reputation. Lin Luo now only has 1,000 reputation. Half an hour ago, I was a rich man, but I became a poor man in the blink of an eye. This is all because of Boscadora. But that being said, the power of the surfing trick just now is much greater than I thought, plus I can move freely in the sea. In fact, Lin Luo made a profit. But what can I do with the remaining 1,000 reputation? I glanced at the prop bar and could exchange for a level candy or 2 characteristic pills. I thought about it and just exchanged for the characteristic pills. After all, I don't need the level candy for the time being. With a level 42 Boscadora in hand, even an experienced trainer can compete. Then he exchanged 2 characteristic pills directly. As soon as the characteristic pills arrived in the backpack, Lin Luo smiled. Is his luck so good? Characteristic pill hidden can change the characteristics of the current Pokémon. Both of them can directly swipe out hidden characteristics, so what are you waiting for? Just use them directly. He used one on Butterfree, and replaced Butterfree's compound eyes with tinted glasses. Tinted glasses can play skills with poor effects with normal effects. In other words, even if Butterfree is facing a flying or fire-type Pokémon, the power of Silver Cyclone is still very strong. If Butterfly Dance is added, even if the opponent is a Steel-type Pokémon, it may not be able to bear it. There is one left, and I will use it after the baby dragon hatches. 3S level Pokémon with hidden characteristics, I will wake up with a smile in my dreams tonight. Lin Luo took a bath and went to bed, and had a good dream. His baby dragon evolved into a blood-winged flying dragon, which took him to fly freely in the sky, but was finally awakened by a slap from Lu Feng. It was time to go back to Nanfang City. As soon as the battle yesterday ended, Vice President In Junction called Lu Feng via video and asked him to take them back to Nanfang City as soon as possible. Lu Feng did not dare to stay and hurriedly bought a boat ticket for the next day. Before Lin Luo could react to what was going on, he was taken to the boat and looked at the countless people around him in confusion. Where is this? Where is my blood-winged flying dragon? Blood-winged flying dragon. Are you addicted to dreaming? Lu Feng slapped Lin Luo's face without hesitation, asking Lin Luo to wake up. After Lin Luo yawned, he returned to his room and was about to continue sleeping. After walking a few steps away from the deck, Lin Luo felt something was wrong. Then he looked behind him and saw the people who followed him walking forward with laughter and talking, and passed by Lin Luo directly. It seems that I was too worried. Lin Luo smiled bitterly, then went back to the room alone and went to sleep. At this time, the few people who passed by Lin Luo stopped not far away, and one of them took out the mobile phone in his pocket. Sent a message, and received a reply not long after. Take away the Pokemon egg without hurting the trainer. The man showed the message on the phone to the three people around him and deleted it. One of them curled his lips and said dissatisfiedly, "How is it possible to take away the Pokemon egg without hurting the trainer? Every excellent Pokemon egg is a treasure for the trainer, let alone a baby dragon." The man was a little speechless when he heard it, but there was no way. Since he accepted the order, he had to complete the task, otherwise his reputation would be lost. The brothers worked hard in the black market for half a year to have the current reputation. If they failed, they would have to start all over again. Seeing that the three people around him were a little annoyed, the man smiled and said, "Since the customer has made a request, we can only do our old business. Don't forget, the second boss has a haunter." The boss looked at one of the thin men, and the other nodded. "Leave it to me. His Pokemon is a haunter, and he has learned hypnosis. This kind of thing is the simplest for him. It's a pity that we can't fight. Okay, meeting the customer's requirements is the most important thing, and the other party's offer this time is not low. As long as we do it, we can get several rare Pokemon." Hearing this, the three people immediately became motivated. Everything is for the future. Time quickly fell at night, and the people on the deck returned to their rooms, and Lin Luo came to the deck because he had slept enough during the day. After chatting with Lu Feng for a while, Lu Feng also went back, and only Lin Luo was left on the empty deck. And his Pokemon eggs. Lin Luo touched the Pokemon eggs in his backpack, with a smile on his face. He was worried about keeping such a precious Pokemon egg in the room. What if it was stolen? Lin Luo smiled, and then suddenly shuddered. What happened? It was so cold. Lin Luo rubbed his arms subconsciously, then held the backpack in his arms and looked around vigilantly, and released Barty. Looking at the dark and quiet surroundings, he had an idea in his mind. Could there be a ghost? As soon as the idea came out, he shook his head. Where is the ghost here? If there is, it must be a ghost Pokemon. Yes, it is a ghost Pokemon. As soon as he reacted, he saw a ball of purple smoke slowly floating in front of him. Lin Luo was stunned, and then he saw that the ball of purple smoke changed shape. Haunter. How could there be a haunter on the ship? Before he finished speaking, Haunter's eyes suddenly turned red, and Lin Luo suddenly felt his eyelids extremely heavy. Even though Lin Luo had discovered the danger, it was too late. His eyelids had fallen uncontrollably and he fell into a deep sleep. Bartolio beside him had not noticed Lin Luo's abnormality and was still alert to his surroundings. Then Haunter also found an opportunity to hypnotize Bartolio, and Bartolio also fell asleep. Then a thin figure pretended to relax and came to Lin Luo's side. After staying for a while, he left. When he left, he took the backpack containing the Pokemon eggs with him. The second one who succeeded immediately returned to report the good news. The other three were extremely excited when they heard about it. They came to the side of the boat together and prepared to leave. But just when he was about to leave, he was stunned. A huge Gyarados had been waiting there for some time, and its scarlet pupils were staring at them in the dark night. It seemed that as long as they made a move, Gyarados would immediately launch an attack. What should we do? The eldest brother looked at Gyarados' legs shaking with fear, and whispered to the few people beside him who were also afraid. Don't ask me. I don't know. Me too. The three of them spoke almost at the same time. Although they were all high-level trainers, they still couldn't muster the courage to face Gyarados, and this Gyarados looked very different. The oppressive feeling made them feel unable to breathe, but they didn't understand. Gyarados should live in groups and have always lived deep under the water. How could it appear on the sea surface for no reason? When they were wondering, a low voice came from behind them, and they were so scared that they almost flew away. Leave the backpack behind. As for you, get out. The gloomy voice with suppressed anger made them fly away. The second brother almost subconsciously put down his backpack and fled forward, and the other three also fled. The man looked at the embarrassed appearance of the few people and sneered disdainfully. You. Are you worthy of taking my precious dragon? Then he picked up the backpack, gently touched the Pokemon egg, a faint smile appeared on his face, and then motioned Gyarados to lower his head. At this time, Gyarados didn't dare to refuse the other party, and immediately lowered his head and let the other party stand up. Very good, let's go. The other party spoke lightly, and Gyarados left honestly. In the dark night, only the hull was shaking slightly. At this time, the four people who fled in a panic were hiding in the room, and heavy breathing sounds were heard one after another. Who is that person? After the boss finally calmed down, he asked the other three people, and the other three shook their heads. How could they know who the other party was? They only knew that the other party must be very strong. As for that Gyarados, they were no match for it. The last time they felt such a strong sense of oppression was when they faced Steelix in the wild. This time, the sense of oppression was no weaker than last time, and even stronger. What about the mission over there? The second brother took a few deep breaths before he remembered the mission he had accepted, and immediately asked hurriedly. The boss rolled his eyes at him. What a shitty mission. Didn't you see that Gyarados? Tell the other party the truth. I met Gyarados tonight, and I lost half my life. Who cares about the mission? It's okay to lose your reputation, but it's really over if you lose your life. After the few people took a long time to relax, the fourth brother went out to explore. After seeing that the Gyarados was no longer on the side of the ship, he breathed a sigh of relief and returned to the room. The boss also sent a message to the other party, who replied calmly that he got it and nothing more happened. The boss, who hadn't received any messages for a long time, suddenly cursed, "This trip is in vain." But then he thought of the Gyarados and immediately shrank his head. It was in vain. More than 2 hours later, Lin Luo woke up on the deck and subconsciously grabbed it with his hands. Empty. The Pokémon egg of the baby dragon is gone. You dare to steal my Pokémon egg. If you are caught by me, I will kill you. Lin Luo was so angry for the first time, but then endless regrets surged in his heart. If he had been more vigilant at that time, it would have been better. His own baby dragon. The baby dragon that he worked so hard to get. It was stolen just like that. Lin Luo clenched his fists tightly, and calmed down after taking a few deep breaths. He glanced at Bardif, who was also sleeping, and put it back into the Pokeball. Haunter. Trainers with Haunter. I must find you. Lin Luo remembered that Haunter, who hypnotized him to sleep. As long as you find Haunter, you can find Baby Dragon. Lin Luo stayed on the deck until dawn. After breakfast, Lu Feng came to the deck and saw that Lin Luo was still on the deck. He asked in confusion, "You didn't go back to sleep last night?" Lin Luo subconsciously clenched his fists when he heard this, and then loosened his fists and pretended to be nothing and replied casually, "It's stuffy in the room." Oh. Lu Feng responded, looked at Lin Luo and saw that he didn't take the backpack, so he asked casually, "Where is your backpack?" "Put it in the room." "Yeah, it's safer in the room." Lu Feng nodded and said nothing more. He didn't notice that the veins on Lin Luo's hands were clenched when he said this. As the sun rose, more and more people came to the deck, and many of them smiled at the rising sun. Only Lin Luo had a calm expression. No waves, as calm as water. The four people from last night also came to the deck, and one of them always pretended to look at Lin Luo unintentionally. Lin Luo, who had been quietly observing everyone, naturally found him. "Is it you, who stole my precious dragon?" Lin Luo did not act immediately, but waited quietly until he arrived at the upper city pier. After successfully arriving at the pier and getting off the boat, Lin Luo found a reason to return to the boat and asked them to return to Nanfang City first. Lu Feng and Yang Lin did not doubt and took the other 19 people back to Nanfang City. At this time, Lin Luo finally waited for that person in the end. In addition to him, there were 3 other people. When they were about to get off the boat, they saw Lin Luo blocking them. The boss frowned and said coldly, "What do you mean? You stole my elf egg and asked me what I mean. You are so brave." Lin Luo sneered. As soon as these words came out, the boss's heart jumped, but he still pretended to be calm. "I don't know what you are talking about. You will know." Lin Luo was about to release Boscadora, but was stopped by the captain. "This is on the ship. If you want to fight, go out and fight, otherwise don't blame me for being rude." The captain is different from the previous man. He is not a good-tempered person. With a wave of his hand, 2 or 3 large-mouthed gulls flew in the air, all of which were more than 30 levels. The boss snorted coldly and said gloomily, If you have the guts, follow me. Lin Luo really wanted to solve it here, but there were many people here, and his Boscadora was particularly eye-catching. After thinking about it, he followed. Following the boss and the other 4 people to the remote suburbs, seeing that there was no one around, Lin Luo was relieved. Here you don't have to worry about being targeted when using Boscadora. The eldest brother turned around and stared at Lin Luo with a gloomy face. Good boy, you actually dared to follow me. Lin Luo stared at him coldly, and after a moment he said coldly, give me back the Pokemon egg, and I can pretend that nothing happened. The eldest brother frowned when he heard this. He always felt that this kid was hiding something. He looked about 17 or 18 years old, he should be a junior trainer, and the Pokemon I heard from the second brother was only one Butterfree. One Butterfree. Where did he get the confidence? Before the eldest brother could speak, the third brother was angry. I just stole your Pokemon egg, what can you do? Onyx, use Rock Slide. A large Onyx jumped out instantly, its tail shook the ground, and several rocks flew up and hit Lin Luo. Lin Luo did not move, just lightly touched the Pokeball with his right hand, and Boscadora appeared immediately. The boulder hit Boscadora, but Boscadora was barely injured. At that moment, the 4 people were stunned. Boscadora. How could this guy have Boscadora? How could it be possible with this guy's level? Surfing. Lin Luo's low voice sounded afterwards. Boscadora naturally felt Lin Luo's suppressed anger, and did not hesitate to stomp on the ground, and the surging waves instantly swallowed up everything around. Onyx, including the 4 people. Afterwards, Lin Luo slowly walked to the boss and said coldly, where is my Pokemon egg? As Lin Luo spoke, Boscadora also stepped forward step by step. Been robbed by someone else. At this time, the boss's legs were weak, and he was lying on the ground and couldn't even speak a complete sentence. Last night, he had already lost half his life when he met Gyarados, and today he met Boscadora again. This time, the other half of his life is also lost. He never thought that a 17-year-old junior trainer actually had Boscador. If he had known that he was on the boat at that time, he should have told the truth. The other 3 people had the same idea. Yesterday and today were too sad. Lin Luo was stunned when he heard the boss's words. Was it robbed? What happened? The boss then told the whole story from beginning to end. Lin Luo was silent after hearing it. The range of powerful trainers who use Gyarados is a bit wide. Gyarados is very powerful, but there are also many people who can use it. Almost all gym owners will subdue a Gyarados. However, there should not be many people who know that they will return to Nanfang City on that day, and then look at the boss. Who asked you to rob my baby dragon? I don't know. The other party found me through the black market in the Magic City. The boss looked at the Boscador behind Lin Luo and swallowed his saliva secretly. The oppressive feeling this Boscadora gave him was almost exactly the same as that of the Gyarados. Take me to the black market. No. Absolutely not. The boss immediately shook his head, and Lin Luo just waved his hand slightly, and the footsteps of Boscadora gradually approached. The boss softened as he looked at the approaching Boscadora. Okay, I'll go. Very good, go buy the ticket now. So, the 4 people who just got off the boat bought 5 more tickets to the Magic City and boarded the boat. Including Lin Luo's. The captain looked at the few people who boarded the boat again in a blink of an eye and was a little confused. Weren't you still arguing an hour ago? You almost got into a fight. What? Are you reconciled now? Lin Luo had a blank expression, while the boss looked away slightly embarrassedly, but he was regretting it in his heart. If he had known that he had Boscadora, there would be no quarrel. He should have apologized directly in person. The captain saw that the 2 of them were fine, and did not ask any more questions. After all, other people's affairs had nothing to do with him. Just don't make trouble on the boat. Before boarding the boat, Lin Luo also called Lu Feng and others, saying that he met a friend who went to his place to play for a few days. He hung up after saying that. After hanging up the phone, Lu Feng looked at Yang Lin beside him with a confused face. Isn't it his first time going to the upper city? Where did his friend come from? Yang Lin beside him also had a headache. She always felt that Lin Luo seemed to have gone somewhere to cause trouble again. But she couldn't say it. I can only hope that Lin Luo can behave himself these days. To be honest, Yong Lin looked at Lin Luo's performance these days and felt that she could no longer suppress him. Whether it was a person or the strength of the Pokémon, it was the same. Alas. The ship sailed on the sea for nearly a day and a night, and finally arrived at the Magic City again before the evening of the next day. Lin Luo on the deck looked at the Magic City that he had just left 2 days ago, and his mood was quite complicated. If it weren't for the loss of the elf egg, how could he have come to the Magic City so quickly, and then looked at the people behind him? The boss shrank his neck, and the remaining 3 stood behind the boss obediently, like children who had made mistakes. After getting off the boat, Lin Luo glanced at the boss and saw that the boss immediately said, "The location of the black market is in Shanggong East Lane. The market opens at 12 o'clock in the morning and will last for about 3 hours." Lin Luo nodded slightly, and then followed the boss and others to Shanggong East Lane to rent a cheap hotel. Then he stayed in the hotel until the market opened in the early morning, and when he saw that the time was almost right, he set off with the boss. As for the remaining 3 people, they stayed in the hotel. On the way to East Lane, Lin Luo also met an acquaintance, Wei Yan from the Shanggong Trainer Association. He looked a little tired and was a little unsteady when walking. This state can't be. Lin Luo slowly opened his mouth, and after a moment, he felt a pity in his heart. He has fallen at a young age, alas. What a pity. At this time, Wei Yan had no idea that he had become a fallen boy in Lin Luo's eyes at this moment, and his heart was still thinking about the previous battle. It was such a pity just now, just a little bit short. Alas. Wei Yan felt as if someone was watching him after walking a few steps, and then stopped and looked towards Lin Luo. Lin Luo happened to follow the boss and the second brother into the corner, so he didn't see Lin Luo, and then shook his head, feeling that he might really be too tired. On the other side, Lin Luo, who followed the boss and the second brother, walked around for about 20 minutes before arriving at the entrance of the East Alley. At the entrance was a silent middle-aged man, and there was a tall Pokémon standing beside him. Super Strength, level 45. Lin Luo couldn't help but be stunned. This super strength level was so high, 3 levels higher than his own Boscadora. Walking in front of the man, the boss took out a Pokémon ball and handed it to the other party. When it was Lin Luo's turn, Lin Luo was slightly stunned. At this time, the boss said, "The rule of the black market is that you have to hand in a Pokémon before you can enter the black market, and it will be returned when you come out." Lin Luo had to hand over Butterfree's Pokémon ball to the other party. There was no other way. He didn't have any other Pokémon. Boscadora was still useful and he couldn't hand it in, so he could only hand in Butterfree. Seeing that the 2 were very obedient, the man nodded slightly and signaled that the 3 of them could go in. The 3 of them entered the black market. There were stalls on both sides, some with various strange props, and some with evolution stones. There were even a few stalls with Pokémon eggs, which surprised Lin Luo a little. Pokémon eggs were actually for sale, so he went up and took a look casually. The Pokémon eggs of Ponytail had a B-level qualification of about 50%, which was very good, but the price was a little unacceptable. Then he urged the boss a few times, asking him to hurry up. Hearing this, the boss hurriedly quickened his pace and came to the place where he took the task in a blink of an eye. Bounty Hunter Association. There is a Bounty Hunter Association in the black market. Lin Luo was stunned. After following the boss into the house, he saw a young man who was bored and killing time. When the man saw the boss, his eyes suddenly lit up. "Hey, you're back so soon. How did you complete the mission? How about it?" The boss subconsciously looked at Lin Luo behind him. At this time, Lin Luo was curiously looking at the things in the house and didn't listen carefully. Ahem, let's talk about this later. By the way, who issued this task? The man rolled his eyes at him and said speechlessly, "The rules of the Bounty Hunter Association cannot reveal any information about the person who issued the task. Have you forgotten this?" The boss was embarrassed immediately. He really forgot about this. Then he looked at Lin Luo behind him helplessly. Lin Luo smiled and didn't care. He stepped forward and asked, "Can you and I issue tasks here?" "Sure, what task do you want to issue?" The man showed some interest and looked at Lin Luo curiously. Lin Luo is only about 17 or 18 years old. It is estimated that he has just become a junior trainer. He dared to come to the black market just after becoming a junior trainer. He is very brave. Then he looked at the boss and asked jokingly, "Your new little brother. He is very brave." Quote. The boss didn't reply. The man curled his lips and didn't ask any more questions. At this time, Lin Luo slowly put away his smile and said lightly, "Who issued the task of stealing the precious dragon elf egg?" The man's expression suddenly froze, and he looked at the boss, who was still silent. Suddenly, he seemed to understand something. "Is your precious dragon elf egg lost?" Lin Luo shrugged without comment, and the man smiled immediately. "If it's lost, go find them." The man teased and ignored Lin Luo, and Lin Luo didn't say anything, and directly released Boscadora. Boss. The moment Boscadora appeared, it attracted the attention of everyone in the alley. In an instant, countless people surrounded the gate, and looked at Boscadora in the house curiously. "Is that Boscadora? Is it true?" Quote. "That guy was able to tame Boscadora, so he must be a senior trainer. He might even be the owner of a gym somewhere. But he looks only about 17 or 18 years old, is there such a young owner?" Many people started to discuss, and the guy looked at Boscadora behind Lin Luo with an unpleasant expression. It was obvious that the other party was here to cause trouble. "Are you serious?" The man looked gloomy. Not long after the establishment of the black market in Magic City, he received an order to come to Magic City to establish the Bounty Hunter Association. It has been 3 or 4 years now. But today is the first time that someone dares to come here to make trouble, and it is a young man who looks 17 years old. But what is surprising is that he actually has a Pokémon like Boscadora. Who is this kid? Lin Luo shrugged his shoulders without comment. He was here to make trouble. If he didn't get news from that person today, he would not leave. With Boscadora in hand, he is not afraid of anyone. Even if he can beat the monster at the entrance of the alley, he is sure that he can beat him. The situation was deadlocked for a while, and there were footsteps not far away. The person coming was the person at the entrance of the alley. Someone told him that someone was making trouble in the Bounty Hunter Association, so he came here immediately. As soon as he got outside the door, he saw the Boscadora, and his expression suddenly froze. Boscadora, how could a trainer of this level appear in the black market? At this time, Boscadora turned his head slightly and saw the strange force following behind the man, and a little fighting spirit appeared in his eyes. This guy is very strong. And the strange force seemed to be provoked, and was taken back when he was about to take a step forward. Although the strength of the strange force is not afraid of Boscadora, he does not want to fall out with the other party. There is no problem in winning, but it will be difficult in the future. If the other party comes to make trouble again and again, then the black market will not be able to open. "My friend, let's talk. Come in." Lin Luo's voice came. After the man entered the room, he was stunned when he saw the other party. Aren't these the 2 people he just let in? Is this Boscadora his? He looked at the boss, and when he was about to speak, Lin Luo spoke. "How do you want to talk?" The man was stunned for a moment, then turned his gaze to Lin Luo, his eyes full of disbelief. "Is Boscadora your Pokémon? Is there a problem?" Lin Luo replied casually, and as soon as he finished speaking, Boscadora also growled. "No, no problem." The man took a deep breath, suppressed his inner shock and disbelief, and then slowly said, "What do you want?" He wants to issue the information of the task issuer. The man at the front desk saw that the backer had come and spoke hurriedly. "Friend, the rules of the black market cannot be broken." The man frowned and then said in a deep voice. "I know, but I want it." Lin Luo still looked the same. The boss behind Lin Luo looked at the arrogant Lin Luo and admired him very much. You know, his legs have been shaking since Lin Luo wanted to issue the information, and it has not stopped until now. At this time, his legs were almost paralyzed. He felt that if he took a step now, he would collapse on the ground. The other party is the manager of the black market. How dare he be so arrogant? Unlike Lin Luo's arrogant appearance, the other party was full of fear. After taking a few deep breaths, he said in a deep voice, "If you want it, you can exchange it with something." Lin Luo frowned, pondered for a moment, and took out the special pills in his backpack. This was originally intended for the baby dragon, but now there is nothing else on him. When he was about to take it out, the boss who had been silent behind him spoke. I have a dark stone on me. The boss stepped forward with weak legs and handed the dark stone to the manager. The manager looked at it and nodded and said to the man, "Give him the information." The man wanted to say a few more words, but the manager frowned immediately. Seeing this, the man didn't dare to refute and immediately checked the information on the computer. A moment later, he found it. Yonkai. Lin Luo nodded, then took back the Boscadora, and when he left, he passed by the man and smiled and stretched out his hand. My Butterfree. The man was stunned for a moment. After returning Butterfree and the boss's Pokémon, his mind was full of question marks. Why did he need to capture Butterfree when he already had Boscadora? How could he know that Lin Luo's Butterfree was of S-level qualification? If he had it, he would have treated it as a treasure. Under the gaze of everyone in the alley, Lin Luo walked out of the black market safely, and the boss who followed him also held his head high with a proud look on his face. After walking out of the alley, as soon as Lin Luo turned around, he immediately returned to his previous appearance. Thank you for your dark stone. Lin Luo said with a smile. The boss bowed and said it was okay. Then before returning to the hotel, the boss took Lin Luo to find someone else, a hacker expert. The other party's Pokémon was very rare, it was actually a level 23 3D dragon. You're new, little brother. The other party teased. Shut up, check yours. The boss scolded, then looked at Lin Luo, and was relieved when he saw that Lin Luo had no reaction. Then with the help of the other party, Lin Luo quickly locked the other party's position. Lin Luo was very grateful for this, and the boss bowed and said it was okay. He didn't know why. He felt that he was very suitable to be a little brother today, otherwise he would be a little brother in the future. I don't know why this idea suddenly popped up in my mind. Almost everything was done in one night. Lin Luo was very happy, and thanked the boss again after returning to the hotel. The boss kept saying it was okay, but Lin Luo was confused at the end. Can I follow you? Ah. Quote. Not only Lin Luo, but also the three people in the room were stunned. What's going on? Aren't you forced to come here? How come you have to be someone's younger brother after going out for a while? This change is too fast. I've thought about it. If I continue like this, I will probably be just a senior trainer in the end, so I want to follow you and see if I can upgrade it. Lin Luo was speechless about this. He understood that the other party valued him as a big tree. There was no way. As soon as he appeared, Boscadora was on the stage. Who would not surrender? Besides, he had a system himself, so he was also a chosen one. Following him, the other party was also very visionary. Then Lin Luo agreed. It was much more convenient to have more younger brothers to do things. Then he looked at the remaining few people. Except for the second brother, the third and fourth brothers were reluctant, and then Lin Luo let them go. Afterwards, he asked the names of the two people. The eldest brother was called Zhao Huan, the second one is Zhao Qi. Hearing these feminine names, Lin Luo felt a little strange, and then he made the decision. The eldest brother is Zhao Da, and the second brother is Zhao Er. He has just accepted 2 high-level trainers, and I guess others will be scared if they tell others about this. Afterwards, Lin Luo looked at the Pokémon of the two people, and he was stunned for a long time. Zhao Da's Pokémon turned out to be a Growlithe, and the second one's Pokémon was a Haunter. Lin Luo looked at the Ghastly for a long time before reacting, and then looked at the other party meaningfully. So it's you, kid. Zhao Er smiled awkwardly and said nothing. Haunter was also timid and hid behind Zhao Er. Lin Luo was helpless when he saw this. If he hadn't been hypnotized by Haunter, he wouldn't have gotten into this situation. He also blamed himself for not being cautious enough. If he had been more cautious at that time, it would have been better. However, he shook his head after thinking so. Even if they didn't do it, the mysterious man would probably have directly taken action to rob it. Who is that guy? Thinking of this, Lin Luo had a headache again. It was impossible to check someone whose identity was completely unknown. He should look for the one named Yonkai first. After all, Yonkai was the culprit. Then he looked at the qualifications of Haunter and Growlithe, which surprised Lin Luo. Growlithe was actually of A-level qualification, and its characteristic was relatively rare, which was fire starting. Fire starting. It will not be damaged when attacked by fire attribute tricks, and will increase the power of fire attribute tricks. Although Hunter is not of A-level qualification, it is very close to the threshold of A-level. Then when he was about to speak, he suddenly saw an evolutionary pattern displayed under the Hunter's encyclopedia. Lin Luo was stunned. What does this mean? Then he clicked on Hunter's encyclopedia, and a line of introduction appeared below. Hunter Evolution Method. It can evolve into Gengar by exchanging Pokémon with trainers. Lin Luo was stunned again after looking at the introduction. When did this system have this function? Even how Pokémon evolve is clear. Then he looked at Growlithe again, and the same introduction appeared below. Growlithe Evolution Method. It can evolve into Arcanine by using the Fire Stone. This function is awesome. This saves a lot of trouble. In the future, I don't have to bother thinking about how to evolve. I can just click on the encyclopedia. So happy. Then he put away the information in his mind and looked at Zhao who suddenly showed a mysterious smile. I want your Haunter. Zhao was stunned when he heard it, and subconsciously said, this is my Pokémon. I said, I want your Haunter. Lin Luo repeated it again. Zhao looked at Zhao Da in a hurry. This Haunter is his only Pokémon, how can he give it to Lin Luo? After Zhao Da was silent, he was about to speak but was blocked by Lin Luo. My precious dragon Pokémon egg was lost by you. If it weren't for you, I should be holding my precious dragon back to Nanfang City now. Listening to Lin Luo's words, Zhao Da was speechless for a while. Just now, at a certain moment just now, he thought Lin Luo was not angry, but now it seems that he was wrong. How can a precious dragon say that he doesn't care and then care? After that, Zhao Da hesitated for a moment and said, can I take my Growlithe? Although Haunter is rare, his Growlithe is not bad, and the evolved form is even more than a Haunter. Lin Luo was startled. He didn't expect Zhao Da to be so loyal. But then he shook his head and said, if it's Arcanine, it's okay. Lin Luo's words were very clear. He only wanted Haunter. Zhao Da was silent again, and spoke again after a moment. What if he leaves? Lin Luo raised his eyebrows and released Boscadora. Zhao Da remained silent for a long time in the face of the opponent's strong Boscadora, and Zhao finally handed over Haunter after gritting his teeth. Lin Luo smiled faintly, and then handed Butterfree to the opponent when he took Haunter. Remember to thank me tomorrow. Hearing this, Zhao was stunned for a moment, and then he was furious. You used Butterfree to force a Haunter and asked me to thank you. I really want to thank you. Zhao suppressed his anger and didn't say anything. He just looked at Zhao Da with a cold look. Zhao Da was also silent at this time. Before falling asleep, Zhao Da found Zhao and whispered to him. I'll find a chance to snatch your Haunter back tomorrow morning, and you can take the opportunity to slip away. Zhao was stunned when he heard this, and just when he was about to speak, he saw that Zhao Da had returned to Lin Luo's room. After a long time, he nodded silently. He knew that this was the boss's apology. After waking up the next day, the two followed Lin Luo to find Yang Kai and passed through an alley. When Zhao Da was about to take action, Lin Luo suddenly said, you want to snatch the Haunter. Zhao Da was slightly stunned, as if he didn't expect Lin Luo to find out, and then stood in front of Zhao to express his attitude. Seeing this, Lin Luo smiled helplessly and said, I'm not interested in Haunter, I just want to help you. Help. The two were stunned for a moment, and then looked at each other, what help? Okay, you two come with me to the Shanggong Trainer Association first. Quote. Lin Luo patted the two on the shoulders and told them to relax. Not to mention Haunter with B-level qualifications, he would not trade for Butterfree even if Gengar with A-level qualifications asked him to. His Butterfree is of S-level qualifications. Then several people came to the nearest Shanggong Trainer Association together. At this time, there were almost no people in the association except the front desk staff. Because the association ranking war has ended, trainers of all levels have gone to perform tasks. Then Lin Luo took out his trainer's ID and asked the front desk staff to take him to the Pokémon exchange room. Pokémon exchange is in every association to facilitate the exchange of Pokémon between trainers. Sometimes, trainers do not want to specifically capture Pokémon in the wild in order to perform tasks, so they directly exchange Pokémon through this exchange. Just change it back after completing the task. Put Butterfree on it. Quote. After the staff left, Lin Luo signaled Zhao to stop standing there and put Butterfree on. Zhao was stunned for a moment, then put Butterfree on obediently. He didn't know what Lin Luo was going to do at this time. Was he going to exchange Pokémon? But why? Then Lin Luo put Haunter's Pokeball on the other side and pressed the switch. The indicator light of the machine lit up for a few seconds and then went out. Lin Luo took back his Butterfree and urged Zhao, "Come on, let it out and see, I can't wait." Zhao was confused again. "Hurry up." Quote. Lin Luo urged again. Well, although he didn't understand what Lin Luo meant, Zhao still released it. The red ball flashed, Haunter appeared, and then a few seconds later, Haunter was covered by a mysterious white light. Zhao was stunned for a moment, and reacted after a moment, muttering in a low voice, "Is this evolution?" Quote. Zhao Da was also dumbfounded at this time, staring blankly at the evolving Haunter. After a few seconds, the white light faded, and the appearance of Gengar appeared in front of the three people. Zhengui. Zhao looked at the evolved Gengar and was completely speechless. After opening his mouth and humming for a long time, he immediately hugged Gengar. The excitement was beyond words. He never thought that his Haunter would evolve into Gengar, especially in this situation. Now he didn't know what to say, but just looked at Lin Luo's expression full of gratitude. Zhao Da finally came back to his senses, and then bowed deeply to Lin Luo without saying anything. Last night, he thought that the other party wanted his brother's Haunter because he lost his precious dragon, but now it seems that he was wrong. Lin Luo said that in order to make Haunter evolve into Gengar, what happened last night was just a little joke. Thank you for letting Lao Er's Haunter evolve into Gengar. From now on, my life will be yours. Quote. Lin Luo was speechless for a while. Just when he was about to speak, he saw Zhao also stood up and bowed deeply. And me? Isn't it just a Gengar? Is it necessary to risk your life? What if your Growlithe evolves into a Growlithe in the future? How many lives do you two have for me? Seeing the two people making a fuss, Lin Luo secretly complained. The two people on the opposite side looked at Lin Luo with an indifferent look, and Zhao Da said seriously, "You have a prominent family background, so you naturally don't know how rare Gengar is." Lin Luo was stunned when he heard this, and after a few seconds, he pointed his finger at his face and said in shock, "Me? Prominent family background?" Zhao Da nodded seriously. Lin Luo didn't know what to say anymore. He really wanted to know how the other party knew that he had a prominent family background. At this time, Zhao had taken back Gengar, and Zhao Da didn't look at Lin Luo's puzzled expression, but just said his own opinion. "I just saw the certificate you took out. You are a 17-year-old junior trainer, and your initial Pokémon is Butterfree. But the Pokémon you often use is Boscadora. So I guess you may have captured Butterfree because you simply like Butterfree." Lin Luo really wanted to refute and say that he really had no choice, and the Caterpillar's qualifications were indeed very good. If there was another Pokémon with the same qualifications, he would definitely not choose Butterfree. Caterpillar. At this time, Zhao Da continued to speak. You should know that a beginner trainer will never be able to capture a Pokémon like Boscadora, which means that this Boscadora may be given to you by your family for self-defense. The one who can send out a Pokémon like Boscadora is at least a local gym owner. Lin Luo was a little surprised when he heard this, and then said speechlessly, "Can't I capture a Kadora first and then let it evolve into Boscadora?" Zhao Da shook his head firmly when he heard this. Absolutely impossible. It takes a long time for Kadora to evolve into Cocodora, not to mention letting Cocodora evolve into Boscadora. Lin Luo looked at Zhao Da's determined eyes and couldn't bear it. Except for the first one, the others are almost all wrong. Even if his father really had a Boscadora, he would not give him a self-defense. His father likes rock-type Pokémon very much, not to mention the steel-type and rock-type Boscador. It's almost the same for him to say that the tree is nonsense. As for the evolution of Boscador, he really can't explain it. After all, the system is a gift from heaven, and he happens to be the man of destiny. With the system, he naturally has level candy. Boscador is the second Pokémon recommended by Luen, and he has level candy, so he evolved Boscador into Boscador. This process is actually quite easy to understand, but there is one thing, this thing is illogical. What is the system? What is level candy? Lin Luo couldn't explain these 2 points alone, so after hesitating for a moment, he finally nodded. You're right. Seeing that Zhao Da wanted to say something, Lin Luo quickly asked the other party to stop talking. If he continued to talk, his father might become a master trainer. Hurry up and go to Xinjiang district. Don't forget your business. Zhao Da then shut up, then looked at Lao and said seriously, okay. Finally, Zhao Da shut up. Lin Luo wiped the sweat from his forehead and looked at Lao who was full of gratitude. Looking at the other party's expression, Lin Luo knew that even if he asked him to die now, he would be willing. After all, he just helped him evolve a Gengar. After leaving the association, with the help of Zhao Da, he came to the nearby Xinjiang district. But Lin Luo looked at the huge Xinjiang district and felt a headache. Xinjiang district is the largest community in Magic City, with tens of thousands of households. And there are hundreds of senior staff members of the association living in Xinjiang district. The only thing he can be sure of now is that Yang Kai is a senior staff member of the association, and he can't find out which household he lives in. But to put it bluntly, even hundreds of households are not that easy to find. Go ask the security guard. The security guard will give you the information. Just kidding, it's good that the other party didn't call the police. Just when I was having a headache, I saw a familiar person walking towards the security room of Xinjiang district from a distance. After he said a few words to the security guard, he made a phone call. Lin Luo looked at the figure outside the security room and felt more and more familiar. After a moment, he suddenly realized that the other party was Luan. The Boscadora in his hand was subdued thanks to the other party. Just as he was about to step forward to thank him, he saw a middle-aged man walking out quickly. Lin Luo stopped immediately. Does Luan also know people in Xinjiang district? By the way, isn't he a master trainer? He should know many senior members of the association. I will ask him later. Maybe I can know who Yang Kai is. After Lin Luo made up his mind, he waited for Luan and the other party to after the conversation. The middle-aged man quickened his pace again after seeing Luan, and then grabbed Luan's collar. What do you mean? You dare to steal the precious dragon elf egg in the association? Luan was not angry, with a warm smile on his face, and said lightly, I didn't steal the precious dragon elf egg of the association, I stole it from a few thieves. The man was even more furious when he heard it, and pushed the other party away, roaring, stop talking nonsense. I warn you, return the elf egg immediately. Luan chuckled again, patted the wrinkles on his chest, and chuckled, what can you do to me if I don't return it? Do you dare to rob it? Luan said casually, and before he finished speaking, 6 extremely powerful Pokémon suddenly appeared behind him. Lin Luo looked at the Pokémon behind Luan and his eyes widened. Level 69 Swampert. Level 67 King of Leave. Level 69 Dragonite. Level 65 Garchomp. Level 72 Diglett. Level 60 Gyarados. Except for the Gyarados, which is of B-level qualification, all the others are of A-level qualification, and the Diglett is even close to S-level qualification. Is Luan so strong? Even his Boscadora is 18 levels lower than the lowest level Gyarados on the other side. At the moment when Gyarados came out, Zhao Da looked at the Gyarados and fell into deep thought. After a moment, he whispered to the second brother beside him, do you think that Gyarados looks familiar? Zhao was startled when he heard this and looked at the Gyarados. He also pondered for a moment, and then said in surprise, are you talking about the Gyarados that night? Zhao Da nodded slightly. The oppressive feeling that night was very similar to the oppressive feeling of the opponent's Gyarados at this time. Then do you want to tell me? Zhao looked at Lin Luo and asked in a low voice. Zhao Da shook his head slightly. Wait a minute, we will find time to confirm it in the evening. Zhao nodded silently. From Lin Luo's actions just now, it is obvious that he knows the other party. If he talks nonsense without evidence, it will be bad. At this time, it is not only Lin Luo who is surprised, but also the middle-aged man opposite. He did not expect Luan to dare to release all the Pokémon in his hand. The pressure brought by that moment made him almost breathless. After taking a few deep breaths, he said in a deep voice, have you thought about what you are doing? You are provoking the headquarters of the Trainer Association. Luan chuckled again, took back the Pokémon in his hand, and whispered in his ear, even if it is a provocation, what can it do? Do you think other master trainers will stand on your side? The middle-aged man snorted coldly when he heard the words and stopped talking. He just looked at Luan coldly and then threw his hand away. Luan's expression did not change, but he sneered in his heart. If it weren't for the old president's face, he would have stopped being a master trainer a long time ago. After taking back the Pokémon, he was about to leave, but he saw Lin Luo waving at him in the distance, and he was stunned. Why did he go back to the Magic City? The three of them came to the gate of the new Central District together, and then Lin Luo gestured to the two to go to the new Central District to ask about the situation, and he stayed at the gate. When the two left, they looked at Luan almost at the same time, and Luan also noticed their gazes and frowned slightly. Who are they? Do I know them? As the two left, Lin Luo smiled and said, "Long time no see, you are back after completing your mission. Thanks for watching."